So I got the book from the library. The one, What Men Don't Want Women to Know. Okay. I have it for 6 weeks, which is really good. I have to be honest with you. As always, right? The more I learn, well, I can't say learn because we all knew that men were perverts. A lot of men, not all, but a lot of men are perverted. We know that. And to know the extent of their depravity is just the biggest turnoff. Oh my God. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, okay? There are exceptions to the rule. There are some that don't behave like wild animals in a African jungle or something. Some of them actually behave and have discipline, but a lot of them are just wild. And the last chapter we talked about was masturbation. And before I continue any further, this is for grown-ups. This is for people that, you know, can handle grown-up talk. There's going to be some direct sexual things said. If that bothers you, embarrasses you, humiliates you, then your best bet is go ahead and we'll see you the next time or something like that, okay? All right. But hopefully you'll stay. But yeah, the more I learn, not learn, but the more, well, in some cases it is learning because we didn't know deep in their mind that they've already humped everybody in your family if they look like anything. Your mom, if she looks good, your sister, your lesbian best friend, they done humped everybody in their mind already. I didn't know to what extent they took that, but now you know. So the last channel, bear with me, it's been a long, hot day. I mean, not hot, but 80s is hot enough. A warm day, and I'm ran errands all day, and I'm tired, and just tired. Okay, so Prostitutes and Your Man, Perfect Together is the next chapter that we're going to do right now. Hugh Grant is naked, lying in bed next to his stunningly gorgeous, highly intelligent, perfect specimen of a girlfriend, Elizabeth Hurley. On an emotional level, he truly loves this wonderful woman and has probably been considering asking her to marry him. Mentally, she keeps his intellect active and vital. Physically, she's absolutely perfect. Her silken skin rubs up against him and he can't help but feel aroused. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. It's been a long day. So please have patience with me. Thank you, darling. All right, so let's continue. So what does Hugh do? He gets in his car, drives through the seediest, filthiest streets of Hollywood, finds a hideous prostitute, and gets a blowjob from her in his car. If a man would do that to Elizabeth Hurley, one of the world's most desirable women, can you imagine what your man would do to you? I'm going to intervene with my commentary every now and then. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. A lot of men are narcissistic. Their families spoil them. Their women spoil them. Society spoils the crap out of them. They get special favors on the job that women don't get. If a guy gets fired, he gets a severance package. If a woman gets fired, hey, fuck you. We tap dance around men's needs. Society, feeds into that. The media feeds into that. Magazines, media outlets of all kinds cater to men's whims and whimpers. Don't do this. I've said that time and time again. Don't wear that nail polish. Don't be loud when you laugh. Don't wear that color. It's very offensive to men. Tap dance around men's needs. You're trained as a young girl to basically kiss men's asses. when, boys asses, and then they become men, and you cater to them, cater to them, cater to them. It's on the job training. And then we wonder why they act the way they do. And we wonder why they're narcissistic. And one of the things that narcissists are notorious for is, come up here, silly. Come up here. Come on. Come up here. Leave my paper alone. Stop. One of the things that narcissistic men and women are notorious for is sabotaging the hell out of their own life. Get out of there now. Out. I'm trying to do something. Knock it off. You just know that I'm busy and you want to start acting a fool. Knock it off. So they're sabotaging. They could have the best partner, the nicest partner, the most beautiful partner, the most handsome partner. It makes no difference. I am busy. It makes no difference. They will sabotage the hell out of it. That's just their nature. That's just what they do. They will always do that every day of the week, every hour on the hour. They will sabotage themselves. Why in God's name do men do such horrible things? How can a man prefer a skanky, disease-ridden, street-walking slut to a beautiful, loving girlfriend, mistress, or wife? You might as well ask why the sky is blue or why birds sing. Technically, the answer is simple. Loaded versus unloaded. But to understand the answer, well, that's a whole other story. Let's take a little peek at your man. He's on a business trip, walking down the street, heading for his hotel after a scrumptious meal. He spies a sexy, scantily clad beauty standing in the shadows, and as he walks past her, she says, "Looking for some action?" His first reaction is shock, but that's not disgust you see written on his face. He's actually thinking, could I possibly be so lucky? Could this babe actually be a hoe? He turns to look, and she's smiling, beckoning. Jackpot! This will be as simple as reaching into his wallet. Wait, he thinks, I shouldn't do this. He's feeling guilty, you ask? Nope. He's just worried she might be a cop. It's worth the risk, he decides. At this point, the memory of you has been relegated to a small locked room in his mind, guarded by a billion testosterone sentries to be freed only when he returns to the unloaded state. He accepts the lady's proposal. He doesn't bother to bargain like he did over that dinky antique cup he bought for you at the garage sale. Let me see. He escorts the young lady up to his room. At this moment, your man has never been happier. He would genuinely feel like he felt with you on your first sexual encounter. He's thrilled. And he's never gotten what he wanted faster, forgot about it sooner, and lied about it more easily. He has enjoyed a genuinely perfect evening. Come here. Get up here. Get up here. Do you see how I'm looking at you? I'm sorry. He is driving me insane. I'm sorry, guys. He harbors no fear of repercussions and will most likely brag to his friends about it. And those friends will be at your dinner parties whispering to their wives about what a jerk your husband is. He gets whores. Using your man as a scapegoat to divert attention from their own latest pay for sex adventure. Yes, men helping men sometimes works in mysterious ways. What is this fascination with prostitutes? Movies, books, plays, Broadway shows, your neighborhood. Prostitutes are everywhere. Why? Because before there was anything, there was prostitutes. Before priests, before soldiers, even before lawyers. Well, maybe not before lawyers. Why are prostitutes so irresistible to men? Why is prostitution the world's oldest profession? Let Smith and Doe answer this question by analyzing it piece by piece. The first principle underlying the hoe phenomenon is the indescribable joy of the one-nighter. In men's minds, there is no more perfect way to spend time with a woman than getting it on and getting her out. This is not only true for the way men feel about prostitutes, it's how they feel about all women. Smith and Doe are willing to stake their reputation on the following statement. There's nothing in this world a man treasures more than an unforgettable, torridly sexy one-nighter. What about love, you cry? Children, family, money, good deeds. In the great scheme of things, these values are certainly appreciated, but what is the most lasting of all? What does a man keep with him right up until his very last breath? A wonderful memory of total unloading. A memory that brings back his youth, his studhood, his virility. You disagree? A man treasures nothing more than his children, you insist, or the power he wielded in the world of men, or the wonderful woman who stood by his side through thick and thin, through famine, disease, and his typical male bullshit? Smith and Doe emphatically state that if you believe this, you've rented one too many Disney movies. As proof of our case, we will submit the following as an acid test. Two well-seasoned men are sitting on a park bench. It's a lazy day in the autumn of their years. As their minds wander back through their most cherished memories, what do you suppose they choose to reminisce about? Let's listen in. I'll never forget, what's her name? Who cares what her name is? I met her in Delahanty's bar. We were knocking them down one after the other. She was beautiful, blonde, blue eyes, white teeth, a face like an angel. And a body, Lord, built like a brick shithouse. You'd come in your pants just looking at her. Wow. Milo, get out of there right now. I'm sorry, guys. Please allow me to interrupt with this annoying interlude because my son is not listening. Get out of there now! Right now! Out! God, why do you have to do this shit? Lay down! I'm gonna really lose it. Get up here and lay your ass down, and that's enough. Enough. God, we're trying to have grown-up time. Lay down. Okay, so he's telling, about this lady and this and that, and his friend goes, oh, my. And she started talking to me, talking about this, that, and the other thing. Well, one thing led to another, and as God is my witness, that babe took my hand and slid it under her dress. I about shit my drawers. Good thing you didn't. The two of us got totally shit-faced and went back to her place. He removes, polishes, and puts back his dentures. Really? I'm telling you, am I the type to lie? Have I ever lied to you? This babe did tricks like a fucking circus contortionist. She had my in one opening and the other so fast it made my head spin. Gave me the most incredible blowjob of my life. The woman had a mouth like a Saint Bernard. I exploded 7 times that night. As God is my witness, incredible. One night of love and a lifetime of memory. That night's lasted longer than my 6-ply depends. Every time I have to get it up for my wife, I think about that fucking blonde, the best piece of ass I ever had. This is what men remember. This is what makes an impression on them. This is what they brag about. Those two characters are no different from any other men. Have you ever heard a man bragging about, let me go to the next page here, finding a homeless dog and returning it to its rightful owner? This vignette illustrates the critical importance and lasting legacy of a one-nighter in the life of a typical man. We move on now to the next step in defining the joy men take in the one-nighter. An ideal one-nighter must contain the following 2 key elements. Element 1, an assured lack of attachment. This is accomplished by alerting the one-nightee up front that the male is taken, explaining to her in no uncertain terms that the male has no interest in seeing her so much as 15 minutes after his orgasm, an alert that is rarely sounded, or implying that a relationship will be forthcoming, the most common route, only to lose all contact after unloading. This last option usually results in shock, confusion, and finally anger as the woman realizes that she has been completely taken advantage of. She becomes bitter towards men in general and won't let it happen again. And it happens again. Element 2, what Smith and Doe have identified as profound newness. Men need newness, also known as youth. Why do you think 16 to 19-year-old girls are men's wildest fantasies? Because they are pure, untouched, unaffected, and uninfected by other men. Is there really that much of a difference between the physical endowments of a 28-year-old and that of an 18-year-old? No, it's purely a question of profound newness. In the framework of newness, compared to an 18-year-old, a 28-year-old is a decrepit, disease-ridden sperm bank. What do you suppose the men of this world really think when they hear that a Kennedy has been having sex in his house with his 14-year-old cheerleading babysitter? Smith and Doe will tell you, every man in the world is completely, miserably, and confoundingly jealous. What a lucky bastard, and he gets away with it. Don't get us wrong. No man wants to be publicly humiliated and busted by his wife and family. But, quiet. They don't worry about those things until it's too late. In the eyes of men, this cheerleader is the greatest achievement of the Kennedy dynasty to date. Jackie O, cute. Marilyn Monroe, pretty good. A teenage cheerleading, white cotton panty, babelicious babysitter, jackpot. Let us recap. We have discussed the importance of a lack of attachment and a passion for profound newness coupled with the indescribable joy of the one-nighter. What does it all add up to? Mo-hos, and mo-hos. Smith and Doe hate to be the bearers of such horrific news, but the bare fact is your man will interact with a prostitute someday. He probably already has, and he certainly will again. How can we make such a statement? Because a prostitute is the perfect one-nighter. There's no commitment. Trust us. Money is no commitment when it comes to sex. If men could pay their wives or girlfriends for sexual favors and know nothing in return, they would. Ask for a $400 purse and will scoff at you, but $400 to swallow? What's money anyway? She's profound newness. How popular are 40-year-old hookers? A pussy for sale better be as fresh as a baby's butt, or it becomes a pussy on sale, and no man likes to bargain hunt in that department. There's no need for niceties. A hoe treats a man like he's Mel Gibson, and he doesn't even have to ask her name, open her car door, or remember her birthday. She demands no false attachment. There's absolutely zero chance that a prostitute will walk into a restaurant where a man is having dinner with his wife, toss a glass of red wine on him, call him a bastard, and storm out. Last, the single greatest reason men have maintained prostitution as the world's oldest profession is because a prostitute can be trained like a hoe. Can you? Put yourself in a prostitute's pumps. You see a man at a bar, he looks at you, you look back invitingly, he approaches. Without introduction, without a word about business or the weather, he tells you he wants a blowjob and anal sex, and he wants you to vacate the premises at the precise moment he's had an orgasm. You can't even conceive of this, can you? Well, Smith and Doe are here to tell you. What they're here to tell you is that this is what your man would ideally like to do. If he could do this every single night of his life, he would. Why? For what earthly reason? Whatever happened to kindness and love, to decency and family values? It's precisely because of decency and family values that men are required to be nice to women in order to reach the unloaded state. Few women will enable a man to unload without being the direct beneficiary of kindness and love. Prostitutes have no such need. He can call them anything he wants, command them to do his bidding, and tell them to get out the second he reaches the unloaded state. And not only, listen, It's okay. And not only do prostitutes not care, it's what they want. It's their business. What a beautiful thing this is. But wait, you say, desperately groping for one last reason to believe your man isn't like all the others. You haven't taken into account the one thing that stops my man from doing these horrible things, his conscience. If my man went to a hooker, he wouldn't be able to deal with the guilt. Smith and Doe say, get real. One final illustrative story. This hits so close to home, we can't even give the guy a pseudonym. We'll just call him Bomb. And it has a picture of a bomb. Hey. Bomb is the CEO of a very large company. On Bomb's 50th birthday, with his full knowledge and consent, his trusted lieutenant hired a grade A top-of-the-line call girl to come to Bomb's office at the end of the workday and deliver a vein-popping, bone-rattling happy birthday blowjob. Everything was going according to schedule when, as it always does, the unexpected happened. Just as the lieutenant was introducing the call girl to Bomb, Bomb's secretary buzzed to announce that his wife and 8-year-old daughter had shown up to surprise him with a birthday cake. What did Bomb do? He told his secretary he was finishing up a meeting, sent the lieutenant out to occupy his wife and daughter, and proceeded to get the blowjob of his life from the fabulous call girl. When he had finished, mopped up, gotten the call girl's phone number for future unloading, and sent her out the back door. Bomb came out of his office, kissed and embraced his wife and daughter, then proceeded to invite whoever was still in the office to partake of the wonderful birthday cake. Unbelievable, you say. Didn't Bomb feel even one shred of guilt? One of the beauties of sex with prostitutes is that guilt is non-existent. Let me let that sink in. Guilt is non-existent. Men actually feel they've done the prostitute a favor, improving her financial position, themselves a favor, reaching the unloading state, and perversely, their woman a favor by asking a faceless hoe to unload rather than using one of her friends, family members, or coworkers. Yes, it's bad. Yes, it's ugly. But it is what men do. That is your good night story. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I mean, we're delving deep into the dark mind of men. Okay, I'm pretty sure good men, decent men, honorable, respectful men have done the same thing. Okay, they never discuss it. They're never going to tell the love of their life, you know, the girl that they asked to marry in front of the entire family on Christmas Day. She's never going to know the truth. And you know what? To be quite honest, we don't need to know the truth. We don't need to know that you had a blowjob when we were married to you when we came to the office to celebrate your birthday. But this book is revealing secrets. And as I told you guys before, one of the guys who wrote this book, his best friend stopped talking to him, stopped being his friend. Because he felt like he broke the boy code, the man code. You don't tell women what's really going on. What's wrong with you? You turn your back on the brotherhood. So you're out of here. If you want to walk away from a friendship because of that, well, hey, that's on you. You know, that's your choice. Good friends are hard to find. So, hey, choose wisely. So that's your next chapter, boys and girls. And yeah, like I said, their minds are so depraved. They really are. But we're sneaking behind the curtain and we're looking at all the craziness hidden behind the curtain. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.